Dear students, this video is the second part of the chapter The Black Aeroplane. In the first part, I have already explained you the entire chapter. I hope it is clear to you. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss the question answers of this chapter. First question, I'll take the risk. What is the risk? Why does the narrator take it? Answer. The risk is of the narrator flying through the storm clouds. When he is about 50 kilometers ahead of Paris, he sees huge storm clouds in front of him. They look like black mountains standing in front of him across the sky. He knows he cannot fly up and over them, and he does not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or the south. So he takes the risk of flying through the storm clouds. When he sees the mountainous storm clouds before him, the narrator thinks he ought to return to Paris, but nevertheless he takes the risk because he wants to reach home in time to enjoy a big English breakfast. Next question. Describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. Answer. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. The narrator looked at the compass but could not believe his eyes as the compass was turning round and round. It had stopped working. The other instruments too had stopped working. He tried radio contact with Paris but failed to do so as the radio was dead too. He was lost in the storm. Then in the black clouds quite close by, he saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but he could see it flying next to him through the storm. The narrator was glad to see the pilot's face, another person flying so close to him. The pilot waved at the narrator and gestured him to follow. The narrator realized that the pilot was trying to help him as he was lost. The pilot turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of the narrator's Dakota so that it would be easier for him to follow. The narrator was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of him in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. The narrator was beginning to feel frightened again, but then the pilot started to go down. The narrator followed him and suddenly came out of the clouds. He saw 2 long straight lines of lights in front of him and realized that it was the runway of an airport. He knew he was safe. As he turned to look for his friend in the black aeroplane, he saw only the empty sky. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone and he could not see it anywhere. Next question. Why does the narrator say, I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota? Answer. The narrator says this because he is relieved that he could land at an airport without any mishap, as the Dakota had only enough fuel in its last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Moreover, he had a harrowing experience of getting lost in the huge storm of clouds. Next question. What made the woman in the control center look at the narrator strangely? Answer. The woman in the control center looked at the narrator strangely because he had asked her who the other pilot was. However, no other aeroplane was flying that night. The narrator's plane was the only one she had seen on the radar. So this was all about the chapter The Black Aeroplane. I hope the story is clear to you, and I have also discussed the question answers of the chapter. Now in the next video, I'll come up with some other chapter. Thank you.